take away from it, right? And let's take it. So just hold tight, focus on basics, get your input right. You can control what you can only control, right? And just sail through this particular time. Okay. Cool. हो गया अभी ज्ञान motivation. Let's come back to the item which we all joined today. So I'll start with a question from top. So people who have later joined, I'll two, three key things. One is we have a hard stop at 9, 9, 5, 9, 10 when we are starting at 8, 11. Maybe I can delay my next meeting by 5, 10 minutes. So that is one. I'll cover as many questions as possible, but there were a lot of many questions. I didn't expect it that much, but I'll try to cover most of it. Let's see. Or maybe if it required, we'll have a second part of the session. Okay. So let's start with the first session. First question that we have. I'll take only specific questions. Questions that are broad, since my answers will also be broad, hence I'll avoid taking those questions. So the more specific the questions are, better it is. Yeah? Okay. Cool. So the first question is, shall we all start? Are we all ready? Yeah, I think we all can start. Right? Have a notebook and a pen if you can have. If any interesting thought that comes to you, it's great to note it down. I also have it, even though I'm suggesting my point of view, but I'm also having a notebook and a pen because at times when I'm explaining things, I get a lot of new ideas. I jot it down so that I can go through it again. Before that, whatever I mention, it is based on my experience. Okay, it can be biased, so take it from a pinch of salt. Just take it as a one opinion, okay, and from whatever I have experienced. There are few things that I'm 100%. I'll just tell you, this is what it is and all of that. Very few things, but it's not that that's the only way. Whatever I say, it's not the only way a person can do a certain stuff. Okay, there are hundreds of multiple things. I'll just tell you from my own experience what I've seen and what I've observed around, but it will give you a decent idea about how to approach things. Okay, so take it from that perspective. Perfect. Okay, cool. So let's start. And as I've answering a question, if you have any follow-up question, do put it on chat. Okay. As soon as I answer one question, I'll check the chat. If there are any follow-up questions, if it is relevant, I'll take it up. Else I'll take it towards the end if time permits. Perfect. Cool. We'll start. Yes. Let's go. Okay. So first question is, how do I find live projects for implementing? I think is it before that? Yeah. Yeah. How do I find live projects for implementing Google Ads where why they are limited internships in PPC? Why they are limited internships in PPC, I'm not sure. I think there is no data to suggest that. Uh, I've seen folks even hiring for internships in PPC and all of that, so I'm not sure about that. But how to find live projects for implementing Google Ads is an interesting question. Okay, so see, first of all, there are two things. One is what you can do by yourself. Second is if what you can do it for a different brand or a particular company, right? For yourself, last I knew, I'm not sure, please correct me on chat. Like there are two things that Google does. One is it gives you some credits free of cost, some 2000 rupees, which you can use. Okay. How you can use? Again, there are things that you can create a landing page, all of that, do a traffic campaign, have an objective of clicks, create headlines, set up your campaign. It's very easy, right? Whatever you've learned, whenever you're doing a particular course, you set up a campaign, set up a campaign, put in keywords, put your landing pages. Landing pages, you can create landing pages now. It is so easy to create landing pages these days. It can be any of the stuff. Maybe it can be a blog itself, right? You can do anything. So, and you can drive traffic to that. That is one. Second is there was also, I remember, I'm not sure, there was a thing that Google used to do where you as a team participate to do PPC campaigns for some NGOs. Okay, I'll just find that link. Please remind me if someone can note down all of these points. I'll come back with the relevant link. Just put it on the chat once. So Google gives you this opportunity for free of cost. They will give you some credits. You don't need to pay anything from your pocket. That event, I'm not sure does it always run or it was once in a year. I'm not sure, but they invite folks as a competition to do to run PPC campaigns for NGOs. Okay, so that is also you can do. That is by yourself you can do. Second thing is for companies, right? So it is as simple like you have to figure it out. Newer companies, and I'll tell you how my friend does. So what he does is he takes a note of companies in seed funding, Series A, Series B, Series C. So he has a list. He forgets about B and anything above A. So anything is pre-seeded or seed funding companies, he reach out to their founders, okay, and tell them, boss, um, like I'll run it kind of if you are having this PPC campaigns, maybe this is relevant for your category. I've done this research. I also mentioned it on the group. Like you come up with your own analysis whenever you approach a particular brand and say, this is what I've analyzed. This is a keyword I've researched. This is how I can do it. I've created a PPT. Why don't you want to check it out? And but in that point of frame, don't portray it as you want to learn and that's why you want to run a campaign. No one wants to go ahead with that, right? Like you can just say this is what it is. You didn't need to like tell it explicitly, all of that. And honestly, you prepare and do the complete analysis and mention it, saying this is the analysis. You can now PPC is very easy, right? You can do keyword research. You can know what are the competitors, who are the competitors bidding for. Every information is available online. Be it Meta, then it's still difficult. But in PPC, everything is there outside. So you can do the research, all of that. You can suggest the budget, and you can say, I can run a campaign for you at a minimal budget. Now, is it tiring? Yes. Is it difficult? 100% difficult. The success ratio might be very low. But I'm giving you options. These are the multiple options. I've seen folks who have even cracked it. Maybe you reach out to 10, 15 folks and maybe crack one, two. But anyhow, the first aspect, which is doing by yourself, you can anyways keep doing it. For internships, you have to reach out, right? There is no other way. Uh, there is no other way where just you stay there and something can come up. Or you can apply to this portal. There are some internship portals and all you can see and apply. Rarely I've seen getting closures from there, but do try. There is no harm in trying that. Okay. Any follow-up questions on this point? I would take it. Any suggestions you also have, you can also put it on the chat. Okay. Okay. Yes, yes. How to... So Sohail says also I would suggest to connect in your circle, reach out to people who run businesses, explain them how you bring them leads. Yeah, the exact second point which I was mentioning, you do reach out. But don't reach out to Series A, Series B, Series C funded companies. Pre-seed before that, because these are the guys who have not set up teams in-house or they're just trying to set up. They're also figuring out folks who can do it at a real low cost. And in all of that, your commercials that you discuss with them makes a difference. I've also added a note on that on the group once. Don't go ahead and charge. You say, now I'm giving services. I'll charge the same money as any other freelancer charges. No. Um, think how you can make it risk free for the founder. How it can be risk free. Once I give you results, then only you can pay me. That's risk free for the founder, right? He doesn't need to pay anything upfront. Second, pay me 50%. 50% you can only pay me once the results are there. Or you pay me full. If the result doesn't come in, I'll give you back 50%. These are the multiple avenues, right? You can further think about it, what more ways you can do it. But you have to make it risk free for the founder and bring that faith and trust that, yes, I want to do it. Okay. Like, so that there is no reason for the founder to say no. Because if he's there anyways, there is no risk for me. Why not you want to try? Try it. Yeah. So think from that. And anyways, you're here to learn, right? And the company itself will give you money to run the campaign. So it's win-win for both the parties. Cool. All clear. At the end of the questions, please, if it's clear, do mention it on the chat. That's how I'll get feedback. The reason I've kept all of you mute is also a reason where we can avoid noises. I can again quickly cover a lot of questions as well. Okay. Okay, cool. It's clear. Thank you so much, Mohit. Guys, I won't be taking new questions on the chat. Maybe if time permits, we'll do it in the end. There were a lot of questions on the group, so I'll first take those questions in sequence. Okay. Okay. Salaries and career growth aspects. It's a broader question. If there is any specific question in salaries, Babu, I'll happy to answer in career growth. Okay. I'll go ahead to the next question. How can we crack a Google Ads interview as a fresher? Please share interview Q&A. Okay, that's a good question. Um, Let me just do one thing, okay? Uh, so, okay, this is the first time I'm telling you. Not many folks know it. I am writing a book. This is the first time I'm telling this outside, okay? No one knows it. Uh, I am writing a book on cracking performance marketing interviews. So let me just straight away take questions from there. Okay. So this is the first time I'll be taking those questions. Let me just quickly take whatever I have noted it down there. Just one second. I'll just open that. It's in draft. So just one second. I'll just quickly go through it. Yeah. Far as I so the first question, it depends upon also how are you hiring or is it you're hiring at a senior level or a mid or entry level. Broader question, broader thing is whenever I take interviews, whenever I see folks taking interviews, I don't ask factual questions. Okay, I don't ask what is DSA, what is responsive search ads. I refrain from asking it. And I've also seen folks as you go on top, you will see people won't ask you all of that question. Moreover, the question will be case based. So let's say the question can be um, my favorite question which I ask. So this morning you get a report which says that your cost per acquisition for last 7 days have dropped by 30%. We are running a lead gen campaign and our cost per acquisition have dropped by 30% specifically for search ads. Now, you tell me how will you approach this problem and how will you go about solving it? Imagine it's a real life case where assume I am a computer in front of you. You can ask me any questions if you have. And in a real scenario, you will be trying to solve it. Okay. So whatever questions, follow-up questions you have to ask them. And let's say if you need any data points, I'm ready to give you. Right. Now that's the question. Now imagine this question, right? Like how will you approach? I think everything gets clear. All your knowledge about Google search ads, in general performance marketing, gets cleared by just asking this one question. What are the don'ts? I've seen folks directly jumping towards, you know, acquisition has dropped by 30%. So I'll do this. Basically, I'll change my ads, I'll do this. So basically, without even diagnosing, they start towards recommending stuff. That's a big red flag. Okay. First, you need to diagnose. And hence, what I'm expecting is you asking me a follow-up question that, this is how I will approach it. For example, let's say I'll just give you one brief about it. So since cost per acquisition has dropped by 30%, I'm assuming you're running a lead generation model. So is it right that you generate leads and then the funnel looks like a user comes to your website, once they click on an ad, they submit a lead, and there might be some team who converts that lead as an inside sales thing. Like say I say it, yes, right? Then I say, then what has increased? Has my cost per lead has increased or my lead to payment percentage has decreased, right? That's a logical way of deducing where the problem is and then trying to figure it out. Let's say if I've said to you, my cost per lead is fine, my lead to payment percentage has dropped, then I know there can be two scenarios. Either my quality of lead has hampered or there are some issues there inside sales, right? And then I further deep dive and ask those questions. So this is a snippet of how I do it. I hope you all can understand, right? This is a case-based discussion. Most of the consulting interviews with McKinsey, BCG, and Bain are based on case-based interviews. They are similar setting. And I've applied the same framework whenever I have discussions, and I have seen folks also doing that. So I always ask it. There might be folks who ask factual based, but I refrain from it because see, factual question is very easy. You just type on ChatGPT or any other say 20 interview questions that you do such as you can just memorize it and commit. So it's easier to game that situation, right? So I ask fact based questions, non fact based question, basically case based questions. Now, if it is an entry level, which I know, you cannot hear me, right? Yeah, cool. So yes, okay. Um, there are a few other questions where, let's say, it's an entry role or a mid-level role. Apart from asking this question, maybe I ask, questions around quality score. Like, what are the key elements of Google Search, right? What will you do to improve your quality scores? What are the different bidding strategies and all of that? Attribution. I ask a lot about attribution. So these are some topics I do ask. Yeah. Um, just one second. Yeah. So I hope it answers your question, like what kind of interview questions, right? I can go deeper in it. Maybe I can answer some of the questions specifically related to uh, search ads, but these are broadly. Let me just check my draft book which I was writing, and if I can give you more about it. Yeah, I asked about quality score. Explain the concept of quality score. How can you improve it? Why is it important? What are ad extensions? Ad extensions is another big thing in search ads. Bidding strategies, and the best part I ask about is why would you use which one? Like in which situations will you use which kind of a bidding strategy? Again a great thing to understand, right? Like when will you use maximize clicks versus maximize conversion versus target impression share? What are the difference between all of those? Give me a situation where you have used each one of these. Okay. Another thing is match type, right? Like again, when do you use phrase match? When do you use exact match? What are the different situations you have encountered where you have opted one match type over the another, right? Again, on ad copies, how do you create compelling ad copies to improve your conversion rates and all of that? Yeah, and again, one of the best questions I have is how do you approach keyword selection, research and selection? That's the whole. The I would say 70% of the game in search ad is done when you set up your campaign, when you select your keywords, and when you structure your campaigns, which ad group, which keyword will go. 70% of the game is done there because automatically your quality score in terms of expected CTR and ad relevance is sorted the day it is defined the day you have set up your campaign. Okay, so I dig up and ask, let's say if this is a category, let's say it's a rental category, car rental category. How will you do a keyword research and how will you select? How will you structure the campaign? Give me broadly what has been your approach so far. Okay, so I hope I've given you a clearer picture, right? Uh, I'm sorry it's taking a lot of time to answer it, but I hope it's clear. Give me a thumbs up or yes so that I can go ahead. Cute. Okay, awesome. Okay, awesome. I think my bad. When I said cost per acquisition, my question was if my cost per acquisition has increased, not decreased. My bad. Okay. So thanks, Naseem. Yeah, but I hope you got my point, right? Like cost per acquisition have increased. So what will you do? How to improve my quality score? You can refer my cheat sheet. Okay, which I've shared you back. I'm not covering any specific ad nuances. Yeah, mostly career related questions will be answered today. Okay. Okay. What are some side hustles we can do as a performance marketer has been asked by Mobile. Uh, See, there are two objectives of side hustles. I'll tell you my approach. So, folks, I've seen they're too eager to start freelancing. Okay. And they think side hustle as doing a freelancing job. For me, side hustle is whatever I'm learning. Okay. Whatever I'm learning in my day to day work, in my core primary work, I want to document it, all my learning. And I was ruthless about it and I still do it. I have a WhatsApp group where only I am there. Let's say, and you can create that group. And at that group name is Learn, Dump and Learn. Uh, so what I do is whatever I learn, whatever let's say new thing I discover today or something very interesting, I just put it let's say a thought there. I can even I record myself as well and put it there, or I'll just write it. Then whenever I get time, maybe early in the morning, next in the morning, I'll document it and elaborate it. And that's how I also put it on LinkedIn. And that I've been doing it for last like 4 5 years now. So now it's mostly like sharing my learnings and all of that, whatever I do. But I still have that kind of a process where my side hustle from day one was just to document whatever I learned. And the best way to learn is to document it, write it, and put it outside, publish it. Don't keep it with yourself. Best part, you'll get feedback, right? And you'll get genuine feedback from folks. Yeah, I know on LinkedIn people try to bash it at time, but that's perfectly fine. It's only benefit for you. So put it on LinkedIn, And don't think twice like, will people judge me? Will not people judge me? I think there was also another question, right? Doesn't really matter who judges me, who doesn't judge me. People forget after like 1 minute. No one has time to think about you whole day long. Okay. It is good for a learning. Um, I always say it like when you write it and you keep it with yourself, the learning is there. But once it's out, no, so you'll read your own content like 10 times before you publish it. And once you write it, you structure your thoughts. That's the best part about writing and documenting your learning. So document your learning as much as you can. That's the best side hustle you can do, to be really honest. And publish it out. Okay. And wherever you see a concept or any performance marketing, content being written, there was also a question towards the end where it was mentioned like, we feel shy, we don't know much, we're not expert. Right? No one is expert. First, let me tell you, even I am not an expert. People who is claiming as an expert is not an expert. Because when you say you are an expert, that means you have reached that limit. That means you define a finite line that you can't go beyond it, right? And in performance, things change like this. Every day there is a continuous learning process. So being saying an expert itself is like, I don't know. So no one is an expert. Everyone is learning. And feel free to share your thoughts on others' content. The more you share, again, you'll also read your comment multiple times, right? You'll figure it out. Okay, yeah, like this is what they've done. You can even give a summary of someone else's content as a comment there, right? So the more you engage, whatever you've learned, the more you produce and you replicate, it's better for you. There's a great book. Please, if someone can note all of this down and can share it on the group. There's a great book on steel. Aston Kleon, or Austinkleon. There are three books he have published. You can read all of those three books. One was Steal Like an Artist. Another was Show Your Work. Show Your Work is the name of the book. Please do read it. Show Your Work by Austin Kleon. Read this book. All your hindrance and about thinking people will judge me, why should I put it on LinkedIn, all of that will be lost. And every day set up the time. Let's say it can be, before you switch off your work. It has to, you can schedule and say, boss, I'll ask myself what I have learned today in performance marketing. Just put your thoughts there. Keep putting your thoughts there. And then later, whenever you have time, maybe next day, elaborate it. Go deeper in it. If you want, you can even research about it, right? That's the best way also to learn. So my side hustle recommendation will be something that can hone your skill further. Okay, before you think even to earn and all of that. Because that will supplement again in your work. Okay? Feel like an artist. Yeah. Thanks, Yash. Clear, guys? Can you give me a thumbs up? Yes. All of that. We'll move to the next question then. Okay. Thank you so much, folks. Now, again, this session is also happening. After, keep noting your thoughts. After this session, document it, whatever you have learned. That's the best way to have the best use of this session. And then again, publish it out, like so that you are reading that content multiple times, right? And other that's a secondary benefit, like other people get benefit of. Like I'll tell you, people think I used to write because I am producing my content, it may help others. And I used to say no. And now it is like I write my content that I keep thinking it can add value. But most of my journey of producing content on LinkedIn, it was all just about me, my learning process. So I was writing content so that I can learn better, I can structure my thought better, and I can connect my dots. That was the reason I was writing on it, not for anyone else. Now it is, I think from last 1.5 years, the story has changed. But that's how I started my journey. So that's the best side hustle you can invest in. Okay, do we need market research? Ask the Ankur, do we need a market research knowledge to create Facebook ads or any other course? Sorry, it's not clear, Ankur. Maybe you can mention it again on the question and answer group. Okay. Cool. Ketan says, hello, I currently specialize in performance marketing and SEO and I'm eager to broaden my expertise by incorporating a growth role into my profile. Okay, perfect, Ketan. Considering my background, what key strategies or skill sets would you recommend I focus on developing to successfully transition into this sphere and excel in the field of growth? I love this question. Ketan, is that you? Yeah. Okay, awesome, cool. Great question, yeah. I think it's a lovely question. Been my journey as well. So I'm also writing a reading roadmap for performance marketers. There's a list of books that you should read in sequence. It's a 6 month plan that I'm writing. It's a 6 month reading roadmap kind of a thing. I'll publishing it soon. But I'll tell you first, I'll tell you skill sets and then I'll tell you what you need to achieve. So whatever be it, let's say if it is SEO, so I'll just let me break it down in a structured way. See, what is growth? Growth is business, dhanda, revenue. Basically, profitable business you need to run. That is growth. That's it. There can be multiple names to it, growth marketing, growth hacking, all of that. But end of the day, the whole boat of a particular organization is sailing only because if there is a sustainable, profitable business. That's the center of everything. To do that, you need a product. To do that, you need a marketing. To do that, you need a operations being running. You need people, human resources to running. But the whole boat, the whole engine of that boat functions around business. That's primarily growth. To achieve that business, this is broken down into multiple avenues. You acquire users, you retain users, you acquire users, you activate them, again monetize and retain them and all of that. The whole funnel, everyone is aware about that, right? But in the beginning, majority of the effort is in acquisition. People say growth is acquisition. No, growth is also retention and monetization and activation. That's a complete funnel. When I say I am learning growth, one has to learn all of it: acquisition, activation, monetization, and retention. All of it. That's a complete growth. Most likely, since majority of the companies are in 0 to 1 stage, or just in the beginning phase, hence the majority of the focus remains on acquisition. So most often than not, people think growth as acquisition, right? But again, that is true also because businesses have majority of the focus in acquisition in earlier phase. So I'll cover acquisition. Okay. Now in acquisition also you do paid. You can bring it by spending a money, or you can do it by uh, organically. Okay. Spending of money can happen in multiple. Either you do performance marketing, Google Ads, SEO, came ad, or you pay an affiliate. You can do a partnership. There's some barter system. You do it. Everything is paid, or you do a organic way, referral, SEO, all of that. Everything is a sub branch of growth. Now, it may happen that you are great at one aspect of it. Let's say in growth acquisition. In acquisition, I double click paid organic. In organic, I'll double click SEO. Let's say if a person is sitting in an SEO or they specialize in specific department of performance. Now there are two ways you can go. You can either go, let me first perfect organically. Let's say I should be best at referral, SEO, all of that, and then I'll move to performance, basically horizontally. Or you can also go vertically and jump your route. I recommend is, let's say if you're great at SEO, just SEO, and you want to now further your horizon, then jump towards search engine marketing. Cover the whole search engine. Search engine you have covered with organic, you cover the search engine marketing also, which is SEM ad, Google search ad. So this way you have put up the first step in performance from organic. From search ads, you can also learn meta ads then if you want to. But one thing you need to be sure, you can't be great at everything. Let's say that you have to accept it. There is a limited time that you can invest, and there is a significant enough of time requires to get better at something. Like I'll give you my example. So I started my journey with performance. Now I wanted to grow my horizon and all of that. SEO I started, but I took a step that okay, I know SEO, but maybe I'm not the best at knowing technical SEO. But let's say I have my own brand. I've grown it from 0 users to, I think the last which I checked was 70K thousand users in 6 months. And not that I'm boasting myself and all of that, but I knew everything is thinking from first principles to in the very end, right? You think you problem solve a certain thing. So I know stuff that how to problem solve a particular growth. Technical SEO, maybe I know this is a problem that's coming, but how to solve it, I can take and help. I know who's the person that I need to ask, can I get it done? Yeah. But I know if I want to grow any other brand organically, I'll grow it because I know exactly what it requires to take it. But my deeper aspect is performance, right? And then, so that's how I covered everything, my whole scope, right? And then I go above an acquisition because in brand role, as you go on top, your whole KPI, your key performance indicator is dhanda ban raha hai ki nahi, like what kind of revenue you're getting into it. They don't care you're getting it from search ads or you even get it from affiliate or a partnership. No one cares. Like no one can come and say, boss, I want to learn search ads. That's why I want to get revenue for you from search ads. No, thank you so much. Right? बिजनेस को क्या चाहिए ग्रो करने के लिए? अगर एफिलिएट से बिजनेस चल रहा है तो चलेगा. अभी मैं आई वाज रिसर्चिंग अबाउट दिस केस स्टडी अराउंड ग्रो Zerodha, and I was researching. I was surprised to see 30 to 40% of their traffic and their revenue comes from affiliates. It's a great number. That means cracking affiliates is so important in fintech, right? अब affiliate में क्या specific skill set चाहिए? कुछ नहीं चाहिए था, कुछ नहीं है. Again, thinking from first principles, you discuss with affiliate what commercial modules you need to close, what kind of tracking you need to get it sorted, all of that, right? Affiliate partnerships and all of that. तो ये एक चीज रहती है. So these are skill set for specific domain, right? अब यहाँ से एक्विजिशन क्लोज हो गया, पर एक ग्रोथ में देयर इज अ फाउंडेशनल लेयर दैट कीप्स रनिंग which is relevant across all, and that first of all is understanding business. कि किसी बिजनेस में, and I also said before you join a new company, you should evaluate a new company like you're an investor. Okay, if you're not investing your money, you're certainly investing your time. कि ये इस धंधे में what is the TAM, इसमें नेटवर्क इफेक्ट कितना है, कितना बड़ा इसका ऑडियंस साइज है, आगे पोटेंशियल ग्रोथ कितना है. इज अ ग्रेट बुक ब्लिट्ज स्केलिंग ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक, राइट? रीड दैट बुक. So there are different sections. First is knowing your business. Read Lean Startup. Read 0 to 1 Peter Thiel. तो एक बिजनेस समझने के लिए कि धंधा चलता कैसा है, पास्ट में जिन्होंने धंधा चलाया है उन्होंने कैसे चलाया है, यू रीड एवरीथिंग अबाउट इट. देन यू गो इनटू ग्रोथ एंड मार्केटिंग डीपर. कि ग्रोथ एंड मार्केटिंग में व्हाट आर द वेन्यूज, एंड देयर आर लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंट बुक्स. जैसे एसईओ में देयर इज अ ग्रेट बुक. आई हैव सीन पीपल नोइंग एसईओ, बट एसईओ को, उनको बस एसईओ टेक्निकल एसईओ सब समझ में आता है कि एसईओ कर लिया ये कर लिया, पर एसईओ को बिजनेस में कैसे हेल्प होता है. देयर इज अ ग्रेट बुक ऑन दे आस्क यू आंसर. अगेन, no one knows it, but that's the best book on understanding how SEO can drive businesses, how SEO have built businesses for both small based businesses and medium scale businesses. So what I've done is I'll also share that roadmap with all of you. It's a 6-month roadmap kind of a thing where you all can create the 18, 19 books in sequence that a person needs to read. So business समझ आया, growth and marketing में deep dive करो, then understanding consumer behavior. Consumer behavior, there are again a lot of many books. अब आपको ad, you have to create an ad or you need to create a content for a landing page, right? So for all of these aspects, you can't say boss मुझे तो performance marketing आता है, मैं तो बस ad platform optimize करूंगा. If you want to be great at growth, you also need to be great at creating ads, great at creating landing pages, content for landing pages, layout for it, conversion rate optimization, and all of that. So there are different sets of, that's a skill set you need to build, and there are different sets of things you need to do to cover that up. Then वहां से हम चले, you have know how to create great content, build landing pages, then know the financial impact. That's again performance marketers I've seen lack. I've written this post I think today where I just mentioned about the same aspect, saying performance marketing is not just knowing nuances of ad platform and all of that. आपको समझ आना चाहिए आपका P&L कैसा है, वॉट एवर कंपनी you're working with, even with your client, कितना मार्जिन है प्रोडक्ट का, or what is your logistic cost, what is your burn rate, how does it, what is the depth we have the business has taken. So once you have all of this understanding, you will be better appreciate कि मेरा ROAS का target, my CAC target, what it is, why it is. So how the finance work is also superbly important if you want to be great at growth. And then as you become great at growth, there are hundreds of things you do, but you can't do it by yourself. Hence, you need to create an army of folks which can just, do it like yourself. So multiplying your impact. So how you can have folks like you in your team that can, multiply those things so that instead of doing one thing in a week, they can do hundreds of things, get it going quickly. Hundred is a metaphor, but just saying it. So in a sense, what I'm trying to say is performance marketing to growth का transition. पहले तो ये होता है कि you become great at performance marketing. Performance marketing is not just knowing an ad platform. Performance marketing is also, it's not that there is a team, there's a design team, they will create ads for me. You should know how to create ads. And ads are not just templates and layouts, please. Ads are going deeper, understanding consumer behavior, understanding what are the pain points, वो barrier क्या है, product usage में या category usage में, expected behavior kya hai, where do you want them to go towards, and how your brand come in between. So what are the different angles you can take, and then comes layout and how do you want to present that messaging. Okay, then you become great at landing page conversion rate. You should not be dependent upon product management team or product managers to define that. Like all my life I was directly working with the tech team to, to do my landing pages directly. There was no layering of product manager. Like, क्यों चाहिए? Like I'll tell it. और ऐसा नहीं, मुझे पता है, कुछ नहीं पता भाई. You just research about it, you just learn, read hundreds of articles around it, hundreds of books around it. Automatically, you'll get a decent enough to know about what happens in that. So once you become great at performance marketing, then only you become great at growth. पहली बात तो ये. And performance marketing में you become सिर्फ ad platform optimize करना. It's not the only thing. You need to get better at ads, landing pages, and all of that. And then understanding whole business. कि business कैसे function करता है, financial कैसे चलते हैं. Because then you can have a sound discussion with the founder. यार आपके मतलब most of the times I've taken ki whatever the CAC you have given me or ROAS or whatever the objective, I know it can never be sustainable क्योंकि margin ही नहीं है business में. तो पहली problem ये नहीं है कि हमें performance marketing run करना है. First we need to make it business sustainable. तो margin तो बने business में, right? So that's the kind of conversation you can keep having once you have that financial thing. I'll also share those 19 bits that can build all of these skills that I've talked to you about. So do remind me and I'll do that. Okay. Sorry, I have again gone deeper in it. It's already 8:50 and we have just covered 4-5 questions. Am I taking too long to answer my questions? Am I being repetitive or is it fine? Is it going well? Just can you please tell me, others? So I can be crisper and shorter as well. Thanks, Ketan. Thanks, Ashwin. It's going good. Going well. Okay. Okay, fine. But guys, it's already, maybe we need to have another session, but I've just covered 4-5, but these questions are so good, one has to go deeper in it, right? Cool. So let's go to the next question. For someone who works in CRO and web analytics, how can one build skill set in performance marketing? I've just answered this question. If you already work in conversion rate optimization, yes, you are best at it. Basically, the question is, if I work in conversion rate optimization, analytics, web analytics, how can I build skill set in performance marketing, right? I think the journey remains the same for everyone, how to self-learn performance marketing. I think I've also mentioned it previously. If you want me to mention it, I'll put it on the group again. But the journey remains the same. How it will help you, since you already know conversion rate optimization analytics, this it will be easier transition for you. So it's more like a statement than a question. So hence I answered it. Okay. Cool. There are some few great questions as well now. From Suhaib, he says, how can I switch a career in performance marketing when my experience is in mainly in SEO and organic, social media marketing, and I have a basic knowledge of running ads? I hope it's clear. I've just answered this question in terms of how to build skill set, how to transition. Okay, but one thing is there, this is in terms of building skill set, but how to actually switch careers. Okay. Uh, it's a great question. Basically, the question is overarching, relevant for everyone. If I'm doing something else in my current organization, how can I switch it to performance marketing? I'm doing SEO, I'm doing anything else. I'm doing organic social media also. So the first thing I say, don't directly jump towards, figuring out applying to new companies and figuring out how to go ahead. None of it. See, there might be a chance that your current organization itself must be having a performance marketing team. Most likely they might be having it. All you need is an access. Okay. Discuss with your team and have a system where you can go ahead and tell boss, can you give me a meta ads access? What I what I'll give you is in next 1 week, I'll give you my 10, 15 suggestions that which I found out in your account that you can implement. Okay. That's it. So basically, that's a great transition, right? If I'm in performance marketing, if some of my another team member in, let's say, organic SEO team comes to me and say, Rohit, can you give me a ad account access? You know what? Next week I'll just come give you 10 suggestions how you can improve your cat. I'll be more than happy, यार. I'll say, boss, take the access. बिल्कुल मुझे बताओ क्या कैसे better हो सकता है. Unless someone who is insecure, right? So first figure it out how you can do that. And as you get the access from your current team, I'm assuming you do the normal. I have already mentioned to you the skill shop for Google Ads, blueprint for Facebook ads, such courses. As you're going through these courses, the self-paced courses by Google Ads and Meta Ads, try to see, open the ad account and see, try to relate to it. Let's say if in search ads you learn about quality score, how to improve quality score, and there is a section about it, you learn about three things, expected CTR, all of that. Open their ad account, go to the campaign, see what is the quality score, add that column, add the column of expected CTR and all of that, see what is the score, which keyword has what score, all of that, right? And try to build understanding. There's also, when you're doing these courses on Skillshop, they'll also tell you, you should have a, let's say they'll give you some best practices. You should have a call to action in the headline. Then you open the ad and see if there is a call to action in the headline or not. If not, create a sheet and just write it. This is my suggestion. And you build a suggestion list for them. That's the first step. You do it and you go back next week and say, these are the set of things I recommend. Maybe you can try to do it. More likely, the more in one day, it won't happen. You'll have to keep coming back, keep discussing with them, have a chat, have a camaraderie being built up. The idea is how you can transition in your current company itself in performance marketing. Before you ask your manager to give you performance marketing, assume you already have a role of performance marketing and produce. And that's a fundamental rule. Whenever someone asks me also, how can I, step up, get promoted? I say, like, start operating that you are promoted. What will you do once you're promoted? Once you start actioning it, the role automatically will chase you. Automatically manager will realize कि यार boss ये तो already काम कर ही रहा है इस level का तो भाई इसको बनाओ, right? So you have to first deliver it. So try to transition in the same company is my point, the whole point. If that is not possible in some of the other scenario, then you don't have any other choice, right? You again go back to the first step that I mentioned to you, how you can self-learn and all of that, or figure it out, reach out to founders, all of that. So that I've already mentioned in the first step. Cool. Clear, guys? I hope it's clear. We'll move to the next question. Okay. Soheb, I've asked really great question. So any advice on how to find live projects practical where I'm learning Facebook ads? Because this I've already answered. What skills are essential for success in performance marketing and what can I expect in terms of salary and career growth? So skills I've also mentioned in performance marketing, right? See, there are 4, 5 things. Um, I say for meta ads, let's say I say CLAP, CLAP, creative, landing pages, audiences, your pixel for meta ads specifically, right? So these are the skill sets you need to build around. One is your basically, in a sense, platform nuances. Let's say for meta ads, it will be understanding ad set, biddings, and all of that. For search ads, maybe quality score, biddings, impression share, all of that, right? It's a platform level nuances. Then there is ads. Then there is a landing page. Okay. In platform level nuances, I'm also considering pixel. Okay. So in a sense, there are three things. But it sets the whole performance marketing as such. That also I've already answered. And how you can build it is just research. Yeah. Like I'll also give you some resources on ads and landing pages. I'll do that. I'm also creating a doc on how to self-learn performance marketing. I'll keep adding those resources there as well. Okay, cool. What skills are essential for success in performance? Yeah, this I've already covered. Okay, what to expect in salary and career growth? See, this is very subjective. Depends upon what company you have joined, how essential performance marketing is to them, to their revenue, to their growth. That also defines your own skill set. There are multiple layers. So there is no upper cap as such, and there is like bottom. It's just variation is too much. For someone new to performance marketing, how can they participate in LinkedIn discussions on the topic when most people are experienced, making it difficult to engage? This also I've answered. First of all, no one is experienced. Okay, सभी आपके जैसे हैं, मैं भी आपके जैसा हूँ. I think whenever we think low of ourselves, we think all others know stuff. No one knows stuff. Everyone is figuring out. Okay, and just share your opinion, यार. अच्छा, ज्यादा है तो मेरा लिंक्डइन पोस्ट है, मैं आपको जज नहीं करूंगा. आप मेरे पोस्ट पे आके आपको जो लिखना है लिखो. ठीक है. I'll rather add on top of your views. Okay, I'll say I'll give feedback and all of that. Okay, no one judges you. Yeah, there is no way. What max can happen? People say no, this is the other way. You learn itself, right? And people forget it. There are hundreds of times where I have learned when I've participated or added my, myself. You might see me commenting on posts, right? I add my own perspective. That's the best way to learn. Again, when I am commenting right now, also it's not that I want to show that I'm smart and I want to give you. No, that's not my intention. My intention is कि a problem statement is बंदे ने लिखा है, which is very good. How can I add multiple layers to it? And when I'm writing it, my thought process is getting more nurtured. That's the intention. Okay. So बेझिझक होके you participate. Okay. Uh, how to allocate spends between awareness and I won't cover. Session is specifically related to career in performance marketing. So Sohail, I won't be covering that right now. What are the best free tools? I won't cover. How to identify the right month-on-month growth? I won't cover. Anything related to performance marketing specific, I won't cover. Anything related to career and all, I'll cover those. Okay. First, uh, this is recorded. Bidding salary. Google Ads. There are 8 types of. In Google Ads, there are 8. Momo hit says that in Google Ads there are 8 types of ads. Is it mandatory to learn all the ads to get an internship? Sorry, I don't know what are those 8 types of ads. I have not seen it. Uh, if someone can tell me what does he or she means, they can put it on the chat or something like that. So I'm skipping that question. So I'm interested in paid ads. Which one is going to have a greater demand in India in coming years? LinkedIn, Twitter, or Google Ads? Like, how does it matter? I would say. I think the sequence will always be Meta and Google will always take majority of the share. Like right now, at a scale of 2 CR plus advertising spends, you might have already exhausted Meta and Google, is my opinion, 2 to 3 CR. But it is again, very dependent on industry and category. So again, depends on scale. And then LinkedIn and Twitter is also an really promising and upcoming channel. Let me tell you, if you guys have not experimented it, do experiment it. But again, be very cautious. Like people take this feedback on LinkedIn. उनका category search ad का CAC justify नहीं होता है, and they try to optimize on Twitter. You getting my point? It doesn't make any sense. Basically, your brand search ad CAC. If someone is searching for your brand and whatever the CAC you get, it itself is not justifiable. And they try to say, okay, maybe let me try Twitter. So that again is a wrong thing to approach. First, you search ads, your pull search ad is defining. That will be defining what will be your CAC. It's a benchmark. If there is a problem there, then you need to fix your business processes. Let's say if I'm running a lead generation campaign and my CACs are super high for my category keyword and for my brand campaign, then I have to figure that a new or a different way to convert my lead to payment percentage. I need to figure better ways to do it or better ways to get at a lower lead cost. Once I'm perfect in it, when it starts to make sense, then only I'll move to Meta and all other channels. Because if anywhere else I'll move, their CAC will anyways be worse than what is having here. So the money will anyways be burnt. Okay. So in coming years, but I'm 100% sure LinkedIn and Twitter will also be very promising. Like I'm significantly confident about it because I've started to see great results with LinkedIn and Twitter as well. Okay. Uh, okay. What can I do if ads gets approved? I'm not answering anything related to career. I'll be asking. Okay. Okay. I think I'm done with those questions. I thought. Uh, and it's already 9. So any other questions, if you have, you can just put it on chat. I'll be taking it those. Yeah, I'll just start from the beginning. Great to meet all of you guys. Awesome. How to optimize campaign? I won't for now. Ankur Anand has asked this question. How can you show evidence of key achievement in campaign for the job interview? It's a great question, Ankur. There's also a particular topic I've covered in my book where this is a question I generally ask as well, right? Again, structure this question. First is you should have an evidence, right? Basically, if you have an evidence, then only you can show achievement. So strive for it. Think I think one this exercise one should all do it. Whoever is in brand or agency team. After this call, whenever you have time, you can write it down on a paper. Think about what were your key highlights in last maybe 3 or 6 months. Okay, just think about it. Basically, अगर मैं कहूँ भाई तुमने क्या फोड़ा है लास्ट 3-6 महीने में व्हाट हैव यू अचीव तुमने मचाया क्या है you should have a very clear cut answer if you are it's okay it's taking time to recollect it's perfectly fine whatever is coming in your mind you keep writing it down or typing it out okay everyone should do this exercise okay after this call today tomorrow write down your key achievements and write down in a format what was the situation okay which is the context that's point one point two what was the problem statement let's say I'll give you the problems like in my case let's say I'll give you the problem statement where we were scaling 2 channels meta and all of that and we realized whenever we are increasing further spends we were not able to grow like there was a law of diminishing return basically the cacs were getting higher so we need to explore newer channels so my key achievement was I have established a new channel let's say ABC um, because of ABC and this is the impact that that channel has created it has reduced my overall CAC by this much because this is the amount of money I spent. Okay. So problem statement has to be very clear. What was the problem statement? Achievement cannot happen without any problem statement. So problem statement very it should be very clear. And then you define you what was how did you approach it? What were the and don't just say, these are the this is exactly what I did. Just say these are the 4-5 things I did. First 2-3 things you must have tried might not work. Mention it. Mention your failures, and then what I've tried. It should be like a story, right? And then this is what I tried, and it finally clicked. Okay, so do mention it. Highly recommend this. If in performance marketing domain, your achievement should not be I've launched this ad subjective. In performance marketing, everything is quantitative. So your achievement has to have some kind of quantitative aspect. Landing page conversion rate increased by 30%, 20%. Uh, CAC reduced by 30%, 40%. Whatever is it, it has to be quantitative, in my view. Because performance marketing, it has to reflect in the end result, which is quantitative. So do this exercise. Everyone should do it. And how to show evidence is very simple here. You have to have that achievement to show that evidence, right? Cool. Okay. Shoaib asked, do you have a thumb rule to test meta ads for ecom? No. I will be asking only career related questions today. Score, okay. Rohit, could you please record? Bobin say, thank you so much for answering my question. You changed my perspective. Bye. Thank you so much. इतना प्यार रुलाओ मत भाई. Do you need Okay, for starting the career in ads, do we need to join? For starting the career in ads, do we need to join any digital marketing agency or any product-based company? I said join anyone who is giving you to try performance marketing. You can't be choosy here. Wherever you can lay your hands down, right? Like doesn't matter, whatever it is. So just do it. Okay. Oh, will you share the roadmap? Yeah, I'll be sharing the roadmap. It's that whole graphic is in process. It is very simple. Yeah, it's just 19 books. The reading roadmap for performance marketers. I've created in a sequence so that generally people you might have seen those 19-20 books. I also have there's some new additions also in my free resources that I've added on to see on my Substack. You must have get my email. But generally people get confused where to start. What should be the first book to read, right? So you can use it. You can use even ChatGPT to say, give me an elongated summary about and this application performance marketing. So names of the books, you'll get it and you can play around whatever way you want to play around. Okay, that's fine. Okay, okay. Which is the best metro cities for working in digital marketing field? Any metro, wherever you can get a job or wherever you can get someone to experience. It can also be your home. Best city can be your home also. But I recommend in early days, let's say, I don't know, now there is a trend of work from home and all of that. If you're starting your career, avoid it at any cost. Try to be in office working with folk because you need. So it is a concept of serendipity. Serendipity क्या होता है? Let's say मुझे प्यास लगी, I need a water. I tried in the office, I tried to go to the cooler and start, filling my water. At the same time, there is a person from brand team also came in to fill in the water. And I just say, क्या चल रहा है? And they say, यार हमने कैंपेन लॉन्च किया. यार ये okay, great campaign. Then it clicked me at this same creative I can also use in my performance. Why can't I use it? I tell them, can you just give me that campaign? Let me just see. Maybe I'll take a shot, crop it, and make it a fancy, and I'll use it in my performance. So ये होता है serendipity. It was not planned. वो हो गया. In early in your career, you want to have that serendipity, and you want to learn from your peers. You want to be engaged in meaningful discussions. मैं जितना लोगों से सीखा हूँ उनसे डिस्कशन करने में, people who don't know about performance marketing, like I've learned a lot from them. How to approach, how to structurally think. एक problem statement को break कैसे करना है. So that itself is like a, gives you edge. So try to work whichever in office if in the beginning of your career. Later, if you want to, you can work remote. But I always prefer in office if possible. Yeah. Later, like you might get lazy like me and you want to work at home, still fine. But starting up your career, try to work from office. Hey Rohit, once we cover a course, say like Skillshop, can you maybe share more actionable that we can use to connect the dots? Like you gave example this. The main question is how to connect the learning of the course with the ad access account that is actionable. Yeah, it's simple, right? So whatever concept Yash will be learning from Skillshop, right? Whatever is it, just explore the ad account for that specific skill set. The Skillshop is so good, it also tells you, it gives you an example and tells you this is a campaign and headline. You just have to go there and replicate and see what it is. That's it. This is the best course you can enroll in. Okay. Uh, like even if I would have my own course, I would have said you कि भैया नहीं पहले तुम ये करो, Skillshop करो. Because I get this feedback, like people are teaching the same stuff which is easily and freely available. These are basic stuff, right? So just whatever the concept is there, just open the ad account and just start going through it. That's all. That's how been my journey was. That's how I have learned it in the very beginning. Okay, cool. So next question is, could you share some? It's already 9:09, guys. Can you share some strategies to reduce the cost per lead? Sorry, guys, not today. How to show evidence of managed high amount of budget in some hiring post they listed the need to manage high budget. See, first of all, this criteria itself of experience and managing high budget itself is a flawed concept in my view. What have you done with that budget is the main question. I've seen people saying, learn from this or do this because he has managed crores of rupee and all of that. And when you speak to that brand, वो बोलेगा एक करोड़ rupees बंदे ने डुबाई है, nothing he has done, right? So these are all vanity metrics. Budget you have handled. What have you done with the budget is the main thing. Yes, there is a positive thing about that skill set required to handle a lower budget and a larger budget is a two different skill set. That I agree. Uh, and you need a different kind of skill set. But handling a budget is not a is a thing. What you have done with that budget. Let's say you're running a campaign at 50 lakh a month. Now you're running a campaign at 1.5 CR a month. What was your CAC difference? Were you able to maintain CAC even at 1.5 CR versus this? That's the bigger question. I want to know that in interview. Versus कि बॉस इसने 1.5 सीआर का बजट किया, भैया इन्वेस्टर का फंडिंग आया, लोगों को लगा कि वो उड़ाने हैं पैसे, तो उड़ा दिए पैसे. उसमें परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग को फायदा हो गया, उसको लगा भाई मैंने तो बहुत बजट स्पेंड किया. इट डजंट रियली मैटर. ओके, सो बट हाउ टू शो एविडेंस इज अगेन एविडेंस है तो ही तो दिखाओगे ना भाई, नहीं है तो झूठा झूठा थोड़ा ना यू विल से इट, लाइक डोंट से इट falsely. Whatever is there, you tell it, भैया मैंने, but you tell them in interview, boss, this is what I have done. And even if the posting says about this and I'm interested in the role, my first email to the founder will be of subject line, handling budget doesn't matter, and an exclamation mark. And then I'll be very polite in the email and I'll tell, I've done this, I've done that, and I've done this analysis also. I've attached it with this email. Why do you want to read it? I may not handle like a 3 CR budget, but I've handled a 1 CR kind of a budget. But what really matters is CAC and all of that, and I have reduced this CAC by this percentage, all of that. Why not? Why wouldn't I? Would love to speak to you. I would love to speak to that kind of a person. Okay. Okay. Do we need to become pro in both or only in one profile? See, in a best case scenario, I want to become pro in everything. भाई मैं तो प्रो ही प्रो रहूंगा, हर चीज में प्रो बनना है. यू वोंट बिलीव, आई वांट टू लर्न. आई वाज अ कोडर, आई वाज अ सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर फॉर फर्स्ट 3 years of my career, and I switched to marketing, did my MBA and all of that. अभी मेरे को एक कीड़ा अगेन इट हैज कम वेयर आई वांट टू डू अगेन कोडिंग. मुझे वापस कोडिंग करने का मन है. आई वांट टू बिकम प्रो इन दैट. तो प्रो बनने के लाइक अनंत है, राइट? बट पॉइंट इज, द मिस्टेक इज, you know lit- you don't go deeper in one aspect and you try to just touch multiple things on surface. That is the problem. For the sake of कि यार मुझे सब चीज करनी है, I want to also learn Google Ads, Meta Ads, all of that. I say learn, but spend most of your energy just understanding पहले one channel deep. In my case it was search ad. मैं सर्च एड में पहले बहुत घुसा, उसके बाद देन आई आल्सो वेंट डीपर इनटू मेटा एड्स. मैंने बहुत मेटा एड्स में एक्सपेरिमेंट्स किए एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. बट इट वाज नॉट दैट आई वाज डूइंग टू थिंग्स साइमल्टेनियसली. आई थिंक फर्स्ट 3-6 months आई वाज इनटू सर्च एड. मेरे फोन में सर्च एड खुला रहता था यार. मैं सैटरडे संडे में, आई रिमेंबर आई वाज इन कूर्ग विद माय वाइफ, एंड मैं 9 बजे उठ के ब्रेकफास्ट टेबल पे बैठे, मैं कैंपेन में कुछ कर रहा हूँ फोन में, बिकॉज अगेन आई टेक आउट लैपटॉप इन फ्रंट ऑफ हर. So like you have to maniac to do that, right? And I went deeper into search, and then so don't do surface level. एक चीज अच्छे से पहले concept समझो. This way also you would be better appreciate other channels because most of it is overlapping. एक funnel overlapping रहता है, एक basic concept always remains overlapping. Okay. Okay, I think that's all, guys. I'll unmute you all. Just um, let me know. I won't be taking questions now. If there is any question, put it on chat. But just next 5 minutes open, and then we'll leave this and uh, do it. But before you guys do, please, if all of you have made notes, can you please share those notes on the group for the benefit of all and for the benefit of me as well. I know Ketan, you have been making notes and few other folks as well. So please do document it and share it. It's also good for you as well, but I think more importantly, it's good for all of us. All of us can go through it. Yeah. So, and again, not just Ketan, everyone else. Please share it. Whatever the notes you build it on group, you can do it on LinkedIn as well, perfectly fine. But just at least put it on group as bare minimum. Okay. So yeah, just let me know how did you like it. Any feedback? What kind of? How was it? How can we make it better? Devika, रहमतुल्ला, यश, भैया तुम्हारे क्वेश्चन आंसर किए हैं, अब तुम्हारी बारी है. बताओ. अश्विन, मुबीन, गला सूख गया मेरा बोल बोल के, एक बार तो बोलो.
Yes, we can relate. You have been speaking since past 1.5 hour or so.
नहीं, मैं
really
मजाक
good.
कर रहा. Yeah, just want to know your perspective. How was it and all of that?
No, it was really good. I think, getting some perspective from someone working in the industry. So मुझे ये बहुत लगता है कि परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग एक ऐसा डोमेन है जो अभी मतलब मार्केट में है भी, लेकिन उसके लिए ज्यादा इंसाइट्स या मटेरियल अवेलेबल नहीं है.
नहीं है. I agree.
When I first joined your this WhatsApp group, and so I found it very helpful, and I'm like, यार ये अब तक कहाँ था ये? So that is the best thing that it has happened to me this year. I am part of this group, and as far as today's session is concerned, it was very very insightful, I would say. getting deeper insights into how exactly uh,
Hmm.
the things work as far as growth rule is concerned. I mean, I got a very good insight on that part.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Awesome. Great, yeah, Ketan. Loved it. Anything we can do to make it better? What more you would want to, just from your perspective?
So I guess people are already asking about platform specific questions. So maybe we can conduct a
Yeah,
session or two
sure.
sometime later.
Yeah, we did one session before. I think the last session was just about a performance marketing question. But yeah, we'll have another one. We'll have all of this as well again.
Yeah, I
Thank you
guess
so much,
that's it.
Yash. Yeah, great. Thanks, Ketan. Anyone else wants to give any feedback, how we can make it better, or what you liked it? So anything that we should continue doing?
Yeah, I have one suggestion, Rohit.
Hey, hey, Venkat.
Yeah, if you conduct any, practical sessions weekly
Hmm,
once or in 15 days, so practical theory is different and practically showing and solving the issues.
got it.
So that is also very helpful
Will
for
do.
working professionals.
Yeah, I think that's in line. We'll take some problem statements and we'll solve those problem statements together in a session. It's a working exercise, kind of a workshop kind of a thing where all of you also work together with me to solve a problem statement. So we'll
Yeah,
do those sessions. It's in plan. We'll have it soon. Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
Hello, sir.
बताओ भाई कहाँ हो?
Yes, sir.
अंकुर.
Uh,
Hey अंकुर.
yes, sir.
हाँ हाँ.
Uh, sir, like मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था.
तो
Like
क्वेश्चन नहीं भाई,
मैंने
क्वेश्चन नहीं लूंगा अब
uh,
क्वेश्चन नहीं लूंगा अंकुर भाई. क्वेश्चन मैं अब नहीं, अब बाद में लेंगे. You put it on anyways. You ask यार. It's fine. I was just kidding
ओके
because
लाइक
time
सर मैंने
limitation है.
एक कंपनी में अप्लाई करा था. तो द
हम्म,
प्रोफाइल नेम वाज डिजिटल ऑप्स एग्जीक्यूटिव. तो मुझे
हम्म,
कॉल आया लाइक एचआर और एनी मैनेजर आई डोंट नो दैट. तो उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि ये ऑपरेशन की प्रोफाइल है, साथ में एड्स कैंपेन का भी वर्क होगा. तो उन्होंने
हम्म,
मुझे कहा कि मैंने कहा डिजिटल मार्केटिंग एग्जीक्यूटिव क्यों नहीं है. तो उन्होंने कहा कि उसके लिए बीटेक और एमबीए विद एक्सीलेंट
हम्म,
कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स ये हमारी
हम्म,
नीड है. और जो ये वाली प्रोफाइल है इसमें ऑपरेशन वर्क है, साथ में
हम्म,
इसमें कैंपेन रन करने और जो स्ट्रैटेजी पार्ट है वो दूसरी टीम करती है.
हम्म.
तो इसमें मैं कंफ्यूज था कि क्या मतलब ऐसा क्यों हो
करूँ
रहा
कि नहीं? We should. No, but what has been your previous experience, or this is the first time you're moving into performance?
है. सर मेरा ये क्वेश्चन था कि जैसे कि अगर ऐसी जगह जहाँ हमें स्ट्रैटेजी क्रिएट नहीं करनी है तो क्या हम वहाँ सीख पाएंगे.
बिल्कुल सीख पाएंगे भाई. क्यों नहीं सीख पाएंगे? देखो, जो स्ट्रैटेजी क्रिएट कर रहे हैं वो थोड़ा ना कोई ताज लगा के सर के ऊपर और कोई बड़ी सिंहासन में बैठते हैं और उनका अलग खाना आता है, पानी पीते हैं वो लोग. वो सब कुछ सेम ही है. एंड द मोस्ट व्यू ऑप्स पर्सन, डिजिटल ऑप्स पर्सन विल हैव, उनको नहीं पता होगा बिकॉज दे विल गेट द डेटा दैट यू विल क्रिएट, बट यू इज द पर्सन हु इज क्रिएटिंग अ डेटा. So once a person who creates a data, he has more data nuances than a person who sees just the data. The worst part is the people who sit on top, they don't have that much of view of the data because maybe because of time restrictions and all of that. But once you present the data, you will also add your recommendations, right? When I always say to my people who build data for me, they share data with me and we all have a discussion together. I'll tell you my meetings how it is run. अगर किसी ने मुझे डेटा दिया और सिर्फ डेटा ही दिया, तो वो इट्स अ रेड फ्लैग. मतलब सबको ये पता है कि डेटा के साथ उनका इंसाइट, ऑब्जर्वेशन, व्हाट दे हैव ऑब्जर्व एंड व्हाट इज द इंसाइट एंड व्हाट इज माय नेक्स्ट स्टेप, सबका रिकमेंडेशन आता है. डजंट मैटर आई हैव टू गिव इट. Like let's say everyone when they come into the meeting they have this data, they would have gone through it and they give me what is the insight of observation. कि observation क्या हुआ? Cost per lead जो था हमारा last week जो है it has increased by 10%, 20%. That's my observation. Insight is कि why it has increased as per that person. So he'll analyze, deep dive ki because of let's say a certain ad that was working before it got rejected and other ads scaled up. That's the reason cost per lead increased. What is my next step? Next step is maybe relaunch that ad, but no, that's a surface level, right? Maybe I want to create a process that every day we check. if what ads have gone into rejection. So that's a process we should build. Now, this kind of like 3 things every team member should prepare it. So it's also you how you can contribute to the team. You can prepare that level of data for your team and give your suggestion. And see, once you do that, then you have conversation with your manager and boss, like this recommendation I'm sharing. What do you think about it? All of that. So certainly, yeah, learning will be there, and it's the best learning, right? You have a mentor who is discussing with you as you're sharing your suggestion. इससे बढ़कर क्या होगा? Free of cost. Like you're giving a recommendation, then your manager will either say, we can implement because of this, or we cannot implement because of this. This is what you think, and we have a team discussions happening on your idea. So it's up to you how you can make best of it. But I won't say it's not a learning place, a great place to learn. Okay, cool. But how was the session? Everything? Any feedback, Ankur, you have?
Hi, this is Rahmatullah.
Hello, yes,
Can you hear me?
it was
Yes, Rahmatullah.
Okay, it was a nice session. Actually, एक बात बताना चाहता हूँ कि
हाँ.
जैसा ऐसा वाला कोई एक्सपीरियंस बंदा अपना निकाल के किसी बंदों के लिए, न्यू कमर के लिए अपना मतलब कि टाइम दे रहा है, that is most valued thing actually.
अरे भाई,
मतलब आपने कम से कम 1.5 घंटा निकाला आपका खुद का,
हाँ
इसलिए
यार,
बहुत
मैं भी
बहुत
बोर हो जाता हूँ
शुक्रिया।
भाई, इसलिए नहीं, थैंक यू सो मच. मैं भी बोर हो जाता हूँ यार, बैठे बैठे ऐसे मिलने आ जाता हूँ मैं भी तुमसे. So it's like both ways, but thank you so much यार. You're too
Yeah,
kind
welcome. Thank you.
to say that. Thank you so much. Cool. Okay,
Thank
guys,
you.
I think thank you so much yaar. Great to have you all here. Please notes जरूर लिखना. It is also for me and for all others. Okay, and also for you to condense your learning. नहीं तो ये सब ज्ञान हवा में रह जाता है and no one really takes anything out of it. इसको अगर you want to cement it, put it out publicly out to people to evaluate it and suggest and maybe add on top of it. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. It was lovely having you all here. Thank you. We'll meet in
Thank you.
Thanks a
another
lot.
session.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys. Thank you. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, yaar, Mubin. Thank you for your lovely comments. Thank you so much.